So at this point, you have to be familiar with the term fix and flip. When you buy a property that needs work, you do the work, you add the value, you sell it for more for a profit. Well, in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through my first flip, all the nitty gritty, all the numbers in a transaction. And if you want to learn how to flip a property, stay tuned. This is my first flip. We have it under contract. Today, I'm gonna walk you through it. Just had the appraisal today, and as you can see, the property is very beat up, abandoned, overgrown bushes. Hasn't been lived in maybe like 2 years, 3 years now. And I plan on buying this property, putting some work into it, fixing it, and selling it to a family. So we're actually gonna enter through the back door here. You walk in this room and it's a random foyer. But again, this is the back of the house technically, so it may be utilized. And as you can see, this is pretty much a gut job. We have some walls up, we have some plumbing in place, we have some new windows, but overall, I mean, we're talking flooring, baseboard trim, door trim, taking down these walls here, putting up some new sheetrock all throughout. Yeah, so I mean, it's a small property, about 1,000 square feet. Not a big property at all. This will be my first flip. Not gonna be too much of a challenging project. And I did partner with an experienced flipper who has done several flips before. Why? Because I'm smart and I've studied how to flip houses, you know, or the process of it multiple times. But before I do my first one on my own, why not partner with somebody who's already done it successfully several times? It just makes a lot of sense to actually go through with somebody, split that risk, have some help with the project overall, break bread, and be in a position to do it again. But again, let me go back into this property here. It is a 3-bedroom currently, 1 bath, almost 1,000 square feet. Nothing too fancy. We're going to add a half bath to this property and a laundry room with some shelving in the basement. Fix up the backyard. So again, this property is 1,000 square feet, 3-bed, 1 bath as it is. We're going to add a half bathroom downstairs, has a full bathroom upstairs. Pretty much everything needs to be taken out. This is gonna be pretty much a gut job. The electrical is in place and updated. The plumbing, for the most part, is updated as well. Roof is newer, last 10 years. The windows are new as well. The person I bought the property from actually already started the project before he sold me the property, and I just found this connection through networking, knowing people, talking word of mouth, which is very important when you get into real estate. You want to just know people. Everybody knows somebody who owns a house. So really quickly, while I'm here actually on the property, I will run through the numbers that we have estimated for this project or budgeted for this project. But when I get back to my office later on, I will put together a video with my whiteboard, and I'm going to be getting a bigger whiteboard, and I'm gonna go through the deal, break it down, all the numbers. On this one, we may put some elbow grease into this project, it being my first. And the numbers are fairly tight, but let me walk you through them now before I keep on talking. We bought the property for $75,000, and we're gonna be putting in about $30,000 in rehab expenses in this property. We have really good contractors, we have a really good source on our material as well. So we're able to pretty much cut some corners on that end and make these numbers work. And we're looking at an ARV of $160,000 to $170,000. Even if we was to sell it for $150,000, we would still make a good profit and numbers would still work. So we actually put a nice cushion in there on the ARV. You know, we're pushing for that, you know, 160, 170 area. We're pushing for that 160, 170 ARV, which is the after repair value. Let me break that down. Keep on saying ARV without explaining it, but it's the after repair value. So the numbers work. If you're watching my content, I really hope you find value in this. I really hope that you take notes. I really hope that you take action. And I really hope that we grow together. Okay, so I'm back at the office and I took my time to write up all the details from that flip that I'm gonna be going through here on the board. Now keep in mind, I'm just now going through this. This is my first flip that I'm sharing with you. And pretty much, this is what I know that allowed me to get started. When it comes to the actual appraisers, and it comes to the actual closing attorney, and all the other things that come into this deal, I'm walking through this with you step by step as what I know and as we go through it. Because a lot of times when you start thinking about all the other components and all the other factors that go into a deal, it puts a mountain in front of what you actually have to do. And what you actually have to do is understand the concept so you can actually see a deal. And I promise you, when you go through and you find a deal, and money to be made, you'll make it work. And that's the whole point of this channel. I want to introduce to you the method and how things work. So with that being said, on that property we looked at, we're going to purchase it for $75,000. That is the purchase price, $75,000. My partner and I, we walked through the entire property pretty much with our contractors, getting quotes and estimates on how much things are going to cost to get done. We came up with a $25,000 rehab budget. And of course, we're going to put down a $30,000 rehab budget because we want to be conservative. We want to have a little buffer in there to make sure we're not losing any money, okay? So we put a $5,000 buffer in there, bringing that total to $30,000 rehab cost. Here's another part that a lot of people miss when they're underwriting their deals. It's the closing cost plus finance cost. It's very important that you put in your closing cost and finance cost. Otherwise, this profit you're looking for is not going to be there. It's going to be this minus the finance cost or this minus the closing cost. And in some deals, the numbers may not work. So in this deal, as I mentioned before, we used a hard money lender to get this deal underway. And that hard money lender, we actually have a term sheet. On this particular deal, it's about $105,000 of borrowing from a hard money lender. And he charged us 1.5 points. It's about $1,500 with the points, okay? And then he's gonna charge us $1,000 per month, interest-only payments. Now, my partner and I, we budgeted, we'll get this project done within 6 months. So with that being said, 6 months times 1,000 is $6,000, plus your $1,500 for your points, and then we have $500 for closing costs. So we factored in another $8,000 for closing costs and finance costs. So when you add those up, you have your purchase price, your rehab budget, your closing cost, $75K plus $30K plus $8K is gonna total us up at $113,000. If you were to follow my 70% rule, which is the purchase price plus the rehab cost plus your fees equals 70% of the ARV, this almost wouldn't work. Now, in this particular property, as I mentioned before, we have an after repair value, ARV, of 160 to 170. Now, of course, we want to reach this 170 plus, but being conservative, once again, to make sure the deal works, we went ahead and we made this ARV at $160,000, okay? So $160,000 to $170,000 is the ARV, after repair value. Now, to find the after repair value, there's a couple of different methods you can use. One, you can talk to a couple of real estate agents who are local in the area, or two, you can look up the city record to see what properties have sold in that vicinity that were, about the same square footage, same bedroom, same bathroom, to figure out what sold recently, to figure out what your number would be. And you want to make sure you come really close to that and make sure your ARV is correct. We've seen properties in the area sell for 170 to 160. So on this project, we have the ARV at $160,000. Okay, now with that being said, we have your total cost in the project, $130,000, minus your ARV, which is $160,000. That leaves us on the low end, being conservative, at a $47,000 profit. Okay, now on the high end, 170, if you do the 170,000 minus your total project cost of 113,000, we have a $57,000 profit. Even better, the more the merrier. Now, I did forget to factor in the commission for the sale of this home. Now, keep in mind, I am working with a professional real estate agent on this deal, and we agreed upon a 3% commission. So roughly $5,000 taken from that profit margin. Still a great deal. Now, Most of the time, before you even see a deal, before you even get too started to go too far into the deal, before you approach a hard money lender, you have to have the numbers worked out. And typically, a hard money lender is not going to want to see you go any more than 70% of the ARV, which means you want to purchase it, you want to rehab it, and maybe the hard money lender won't care about your fees being included in there, but if you really want to make money, right, you're in this to make money, then you don't want to pay for these fees out of pocket. You want those fees to come out of the deal, right? So you have your purchase price plus your rehab costs plus your fees. You add those up, you want to be at 70% of the after repair value. With that being said, with this particular deal, if you use the $160,000 after repair value, you multiply 160 times 70%, you'll have $112,000. On this deal, we added all these up and we got $113,000. But keep in mind, we had a $5,000 oops budget in here, or a $5,000 just in case budget put up in here. And on top of that, we think we can get this property done and flipped and sold under 6 months. So with that being said, that kind of leaves us some wiggle room with our profit margins. But at the end of the day, as long as we hit this number right here, both my partner and I will be pretty satisfied. And again, on this deal, okay, my hard money lender had us put down $16,000. So me and my partner split $8,000 a pop to go into the deal. We're both going to get a return back of $47,000 to $57,000. When you watch these videos, don't just watch them. Take notes so you can then take action. And this project is projected to last about 6 months, so I'll have plenty of updates as we go along.
So that's enough at the whiteboard. Let me get you back over to the property. You won't believe what happened next.
One thing that everybody has to understand, oh man, and I'm not like, whoa, what's that noise? When I get on these properties, I'd be scary. I don't be, is that my shoe? You gonna hear that? All right, something over here. Is that my shoe? Oh, snap. Wow. We just caught that on video. I thought it was a snake under the porch or a cat hissing at me. Listen, I be walking these properties, I be scary, man. You know what I'm saying? But you can't shoot a snake. Look, right? So I got these Nikes on. Just bought these bad boys. Walking through the rehab property, and look. I don't know if you can see that. Caught a flat in my shoe. So every time I walk, it makes a little hissing noise. And it definitely scared the shit out of me. Definitely scared me. I'm wondering if I get that as like a business write-off. Like, these bad boys are like $200. Just caught a flat. First thought was, yo, there's a snake under me right now. I'm about to dip. Then I'm like, nah, it can't be a snake because it's still hissing. It gotta be a cat. And every time I step, the noise is like getting louder, and it's like, and my heart is beating. I'm looking down like, what is going on? So I just caught a flat in my new Nikes. Yeah, so that's a lesson learned on film. Well, when you walk through a rehab property that's half demoed and there's nails and pointy objects laying on the floor, don't walk through in your brand new Nike Airs, because there's a high possibility you might catch a flat. Your shoe might deflate. And now for the rest of the day, I have to walk around with my ankle like popping in until I make it to the store. Nah, for real, this really got me walking with like an extra G lean right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm really just like, every time I walk, my shoe just cuffs in. So now it's extra like, yeah, I'm really feeling cool right now though. This type of walk right here, you know what I mean? Before I take off, wanted to show you the front of the property for giggles. Take a look. 1,000-foot property, 1,000 square feet, nothing too fancy.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's grow together. See you in the next video.